The worst pick, I think, is Latu,
I think so too.
the
I
tight
think so
end.
too.
There,
I think so too.
I watched him. He's an athlete. There's no question, and there's upside potential there. But
Right.
man,
He's new
there
to the
were
position.
so many guys on the board. There were
Right.
so many. Freeland was
Yeah.
there. I think you had all kinds of guys that you could have gone with that I thought were way higher value. That was a very disappointing pick. I mean, just to give you an idea. So in the fourth round, the Northwestern kid who just was awesome at the Senior Bowl, Adetomawa Adebare, who's 280 pounds and just lightning fast. You can't use that guy in your defensive line. Roshan Johnson is a running back, granted, but he's a freaking leader. He's tough. That would have been a great addition. If they wanted Jake Hayner, they could have had him. I mean, if they wanted the kid that showed up at their pro day from San Jose State, Junior Fajoko, who's an edge rusher, who's got a crazy motor. He was the defensive player of the year in his conference. He was there. Blake Freeland from BYU was there.
Nick Saldiveri was there from Old Dominion.
Saldiveri, Kayla Ringo, who the Eagles traded up in the fourth round, a couple picks later, a
DeJuan
corner
Jones.
of size. Jacorian Bennett, the corner from Maryland, was there. I mean, they're just Dawan Jones, who Mel Kiper had as his best offensive lineman, the 6'8", 380-pound Buckeyes tackle was there.
Yeah, redshirt him a year, remake his body, help him lose 30, 40 pounds. I mean, there were some guys there.
There were some guys. Jamie Robinson, the other safety from Florida State, he's a stud. He was sitting right there. I mean, they had a lot of options. Nick Hampton, the edge rusher from Appalachian State. I mean, there's just a lot of guys. There were a lot of guys. Catrell Clark was a slot corner that I really liked from Louisville. He went to the Cardinals later on. But there was just better guys than Latu. But I will say this.
Like starters.
Yeah. And I thought they were better tight ends even.
Yeah.
I mean, Payne Durham was there for sure. I mean, even the second tight end the Niners got.
That's what I'm thinking. Is he not better than Latu?
Yeah, I think he's a better receiver, and I think he's a better athlete.
Agree. Like the thing with Latu is he's new to the position, and there is upside there, but he ran a 4.78. A 4.78, like that's slower than Jawan Jennings. His 10-yard split is 1.66. That's like Matt Ryan. I don't. What is the upside with an athlete who's that sluggish?
I don't see. Well, my thing is, I watched film on him for 20 minutes. I couldn't discern what the strength was. Like, is he? To me, if there's anything that I saw, is that Dwelly, you put him in the game, everybody knows he's a non-blocker, but he's a receiver. Yeah. Where sometimes you have guys that are on the field, they're Charlie Warner, I think, is a non-receiver,
but they have like a calling
he's a blocker. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
This one thing is the reason you're in the league.
This guy could do at both, but is he strong at either? I'll say this. I don't want to rip him too much because there's a lot of guys that show up. The Niners took two guys, one from Bama, Latu, the other from Georgia, Beal, who, weren't really great on their team, but flashed. If you watch Latu in the Tennessee game, he looked good. If you watch Beal in the national semi, he looked good. He got a nice sack in the national championship game.
But the difference is that Beal was a late fifth and, Latu's a late third. It's a difference. So we're looking at Latu. It's not Cam, if you're watching, it's not personal. What we're talking about right now is Kyle and John. Like they took you in the third round. They took Latu in the third round. That's a reach. So it's nothing against him. He still might be a better prospect than Robert Beal. He might have more potential than Robert Beal, but we're looking at Beal as like, hey, what a value. What a place to get someone with traits who hasn't really proven anything. You know what I mean? Someone who might improve. Like, that's where you draft that guy. That's where you draft Latu, round 5. They drafted Kittle in round 5, and Kittle had he ran a 4.5. He was extremely explosive. Also, one more thing. They're saying they can develop Latu. The man who developed Kittle was John Embry, who played tight end in the NFL and was a longtime tight end coach and now works for the Miami Dolphins. The tight end coach now on the Niners is Brian Fleury, who never played tight end. He was a quarterback at Towson. And his first year coaching tight ends was last year. So he doesn't have the chops or pedigree necessarily to do that. We'll see what happens.
I mean, the Niners got fired Embry, I believe, who played tight end himself at Colorado.
Insane.
I'm okay with as far as this coach versus that coach. There's sometimes stories there. There's sometimes information that's not privy to us. I won't come to, and there are people that move around from position to position. But
what happened, he was the assistant head coach, which comes with a lot of more money. I think they wanted to take the title away from him and give it to Anthony Lynn, and that would come with like a 60% pay decrease. And, if someone did that to me, I'd say, screw you, I'm going to Miami, where he became the assistant head coach. I think it's money. He's a good coach.
But as far as Latu, the one thing that does stand out, he's definitely really athletic. I mean, you can see he's an athletic guy, but to me, it just always looked like he was going like 75%. Like his routes, you see guys. I mean, like go watch Braden Willis in the intensity with which he runs his routes, and he's a shorter guy, smaller guy, a little bit more athletic, a little less powerful. And then look at Latu and tell me what percentage you think Latu's going at. I would say to me, he looked like he was going at 75%. So maybe his play speed can be improved. He's clearly athletic and strong. It's just a matter of, can they develop him? We'll see. I mean, to me that there was clearly better players on the board. That I agree. I would agree that seemed like a reach.
I can't wait to go to training camp, me and you, and watch one-on-ones. I'm going to be
I know.
Laser focused on tight ends against safeties this year, because it'll be very interesting. You'll have Kittle out there. You'll have Dwelly out there. Those guys don't lose reps in that. They don't lose. And now you got Latu and Willis. Who's going to step up and assert themselves in that drill? Because if you can't win in that drill, it means you probably can't beat man-to-man coverage, and you're probably just a blocker. And that's Charlie Warner. That's we'll see. I don't know. Is that Latu? Is that? I don't think it's Willis. I think Willis is going to win in that drill, but I don't know about Latu. We'll see.
I kind of like the pick of Willis as far as I love his ball skills. I mean, he goes after it kind of like a receiver. I mean, to me, Braden Willis
he gets yards
was a
after
nice
the catch.
pickup. And I like how Braden Willis was like, 31 teams are going to regret passing on me. I mean, I like guys who come in with a chip on their shoulder, because that's what it takes.
Yeah. Who was the last guy that did that though? Larry O'Neal Jr. on the Niners. He was a practice squad guy, undrafted free agent. I forget his name.
About, Leon O'Neal.
Leon, yeah. And then
A&M.
And he said he was going to make the team. He was like the first guy cut. He was like, man, you probably shouldn't talk that. Cause I think the way the Niners think is like, hey, we're a veteran team. You're a kid. You're not coming on this team and taking someone's job without earning it. So why don't you put your head down and work? I think that's how the Niners think.
Well, it's also just a realization to a lot of college safeties. Dude, you could light it up in College Station, but in the NFL, it is a coverage game. And if you can't cover, you're gone.
You're either a linebacker or even if you're a linebacker,
even if you're a linebacker, they're all fast.
You still got to cover.
The guy, the Niners, that Winters or Winters 4-4. And Graham, those guys are really fast. I think Graham's 4.6. I think Winters is 4.4.
That's right. Fish and Chip says Larry got disrespect from other content creators. Well, we all be throwing shade at each other from time to time on Twitter. It happens. But then we all end up making up and working together at the end of the day.
The pick, the pick I didn't understand outside of Latu was Ronnie Bell. I mean, there were other guys there. There were a lot of other guys, and Ronnie Bell isn't going to make this team. How's Ronnie Bell making this team? Look how many receivers they have. I mean,
it's a 253rd pick in the draft.
Yeah. But I mean, there was no defensive end that you wanted to have. There was no
offensive lineman
that you thought. I mean, McClendon Curtis.
Yeah, that's kind of fair, right?
He was sitting right there. The Raiders got him as an undrafted free agent. There were a lot of guys. And then to me, the 49ers, if they were a game this week, would be in trouble. I think they have other needs that they didn't address. So I would have gone with an edge rusher in that last pick instead of Ronnie. I would have gone with an edge rusher instead of Ronnie Bell.